Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. If you have a woman in your life, a mother, a sister, a wife, a daughter, understand this. She is not just there. She is a force, a blessing, a gift. And the question is, do you cherish her? Do you truly understand her worth? Or are you too blind to see what she brings into your life? Because here's the truth. Some men only realize what they had when it's gone. Too many take a woman's love for granted, thinking she'll always be there. But let me tell you something, when a good woman walks away, she takes her light with her, and your world will never shine the same again. A woman's presence is divine. Her existence in a man's life is more than just companionship. It is a force of nature, a guiding light, an energy that shifts the very foundation of his world. From the moment she enters his life, whether as a mother, a sister, a friend, or a partner, she brings something that cannot be replaced. She is not just there to be seen, she is there to be felt. Her essence, her wisdom, and her love have the power to transform a man's path, shaping his destiny in ways he may not fully comprehend until he looks back. Too many men fail to see this. Too many overlook the significance of a woman's presence until it's too late. They move through life believing she will always be there, patient, understanding, forgiving. They take her love as a given, her care as an expectation, her sacrifices as something she is simply supposed to do. And in that blindness, they lose sight of the fact that a woman's presence is not an entitlement. It is a privilege. A woman's presence is divine because it brings balance. Where there is chaos, she brings order. Where there is doubt, she instills confidence. Where there is pain, she soothes with a love that runs deeper than words. She has the ability to see what a man often cannot: his potential, his struggles, his silent battles. She does not just stand beside him, she strengthens him, pushes him to be more than what he believes he can be. She is the quiet voice that reminds him of his worth when the world tries to break him down. Her presence is divine because it is selfless. Think about the sacrifices a woman makes, the nights she stays up worrying, the battles she fights behind closed doors, the way she gives her all even when she has nothing left. She carries the weight of the world on her shoulders, yet she smiles through it all. She gives love freely, without asking for anything in return except respect and loyalty. And yet, too often she is met with disregard. A woman's presence is divine because she brings life, not just in the physical sense, but in the emotional, mental, and spiritual realms. She nurtures dreams, cultivates ambition, and breathes hope into a man's vision. Without her, the world feels empty, lacking the warmth that only she can provide. A house is just a structure until a woman turns it into a home. A man may be strong on his own, but he reaches his highest potential when he has a woman who believes in him. There are those who fail to cherish her. They take advantage of her kindness, mistaking it for weakness. They assume she will always be there, always willing to forgive, always waiting for them to finally realize her worth. But here's the truth. A woman's love is deep, but it is not infinite. Once she realizes she is not valued, once she feels unappreciated, she will withdraw that presence. And when she does, a man will feel it like the sudden absence of the sun. Cold, dark, and empty. A man must recognize that a woman's presence in his life is not just something to acknowledge when it's convenient. It must be cherished, protected, and honored every single day. She is not there to fill a void. She is there to bring meaning. She is not there to be controlled. She is there to walk beside him as an equal, as a partner, as a force that elevates both of them. Respecting a woman means more than just words. It means action. It means showing up for her the way she shows up for him. It means listening when she speaks, understanding when she is hurting, appreciating her even in the smallest moments. It means recognizing that she is not just someone in his life. She is the reason his life feels whole. To all the men who have a woman in their life, hear this. Do not wait until she is gone to realize her value. Do not be the man who looks back with regret, wishing he had treated her better, wishing he had appreciated her more. Because once she walks away, once she decides her presence is no longer worth giving, there is no turning back. A woman's presence is divine. It is a blessing, a gift, a light in a world that can be cruel and unforgiving. Cherish her while you still can, because without her you will come to understand what true emptiness feels like. A woman is more than just a companion. She is a builder, a nurturer, a source of wisdom, and the backbone of any great man's success. She does not merely exist in a man's life to fill space. She is there to enhance it, to elevate it, to bring out a version of him that even he might not recognize yet. She sees beyond the surface, beyond the flaws, beyond the struggles, and believes in something greater. That belief alone has built empires, held families together, and given men the strength to achieve the impossible. In a world that often reduces relationships to superficial connections, too many men fail to recognize the depth of what a woman brings into their lives. She is not there just to provide comfort. She is not there simply to stand beside him in moments of ease. She is there to push him, to challenge him, to remind him of who he is when he forgets. She is the whisper in his ear that says, "You are more than this," when he is ready to settle for less. Her strength is not just in her love, it is in her ability to endure. A woman carries burdens that are often unseen. She takes on the weight of those around her, making sacrifices that no one acknowledges, bearing pain in silence because she knows the world does not always give her the space to break. But make no mistake, her ability to endure does not mean she should be taken for granted. Just because she carries it well does not mean it is not heavy. Just because she gives freely does not mean it comes without cost. A man who understands the true power of a woman does not see her as just a companion. He sees her as his greatest ally. He understands that her presence in his life is not about dependence, but about partnership. She does not need him to survive, but together they create something greater than what either of them could build alone. She is the one who reminds him of his dreams when he is ready to give up. She is the one who sees solutions when all he sees is failures. She is the one who holds the vision of what they can become even when the present is filled with struggle. A woman's wisdom is unlike any other. She sees through deception, reads between the lines, and understands things that are often left unsaid. She does not just hear words, she feels them. She does not just see actions, she understands the intent behind them. Her intuition is not a weakness, it is a gift. A man who listens to the wisdom of a woman will always find himself making better choices, seeing the world with clearer eyes and avoiding mistakes that could cost him dearly. But here is where many men go wrong. They assume that just because she is strong, she does not need to be cherished. Just because she can handle things on her own, they believe she does not need support. They forget that even the strongest woman wants to feel valued. Even the most independent woman desires to be appreciated. Even the most self-sufficient woman wants to know that her love, her efforts, her sacrifices are not being overlooked. The mistake too many men make is thinking that as long as she is still there, everything is fine. They fail to see the small moments where she starts to withdraw. They ignore the quiet signs of exhaustion, the subtle shifts in her energy, the way her eyes no longer light up the way they used to. A woman does not just leave physically, she leaves emotionally long before she walks away. And when that happens, it is almost impossible to bring her back. A great man understands that his success is not just his own. Behind every strong man, there is a woman who believed in him, supported him, and stood beside him through the storms. He understands that without her, his victories would feel hollow, his journey would be lonelier, and his purpose would be harder to achieve. He does not just see her as a companion, he sees her as an essential part of his life. So the question is, do you recognize the woman in your life for who she truly is? Or are you waiting until she is gone to realize what you had? Do you uplift her, appreciate her, and show her that she is more than just someone who stands beside you? Or do you take her presence for granted, assuming she will always be there? A woman's role in a man's life is far greater than most will ever acknowledge. She is the difference between a man who reaches his full potential and one who falls short. She is the strength that keeps him moving forward when everything else tries to pull him down. She is not just a companion, she is the reason a man becomes the best version of himself. And a man who fails to recognize that will spend his life chasing success, only to realize too late that he let go of the greatest gift he ever had. A woman's love is not something to be taken lightly. It is deep, powerful, and transformative. When a woman loves, she does not do it halfway. She gives with everything she has. Her love is not just about words or gestures. It is woven into the very fabric of her being. It is in the way she supports, the way she nurtures, the way she sees the best in a man, even when he struggles to see it in himself. Her love is not fleeting. It is the kind that can heal wounds, restore faith, and push a man to levels he never thought he could reach. But here's the truth. Too many men take that love for granted. They assume it will always be there, that no matter what they do, no matter how they treat her, she will continue to love them the same way. They mistake her patience for weakness, her forgiveness for obligation. They believe that because she chooses to stay, it means she will never leave. And that is where they go wrong. A woman's love is strong, but it is not limitless. She will endure, she will fight, she will give chance after chance because that is her nature. She believes in love, in connection, in the power of building something meaningful. But she also knows when she is being unappreciated. She knows when her love is being taken for granted. She can feel when she is pouring into someone who does not value what she brings. The moment a woman realizes that her love is being treated as an expectation rather than a privilege, something shifts. She begins to withdraw, slowly at first. She stops giving as much, stops making as many sacrifices, stops investing the same energy she once did. And a man who is not paying attention will not even notice until it is too late. A woman does not leave suddenly. Her heart leaves long before her body does. She starts to feel empty in a relationship that once brought her joy. She begins to question if staying is worth it. She looks at the man she once admired and wonders if he will ever truly see her for who she is. And when she reaches the point of no return, there is nothing that can bring her back. A man who understands the value of a woman's love does not wait until she is gone to appreciate her. He does not assume she will always be there. He recognizes that her love is a rare and precious gift, one that must be nurtured, respected, and reciprocated. He does not just take from her, he gives back. He does not just expect her to hold everything together, he stands beside her and shares the weight. Love is not about what a woman can do for a man. It is about the partnership they create together. It is about mutual respect, about seeing each other's worth and honoring it every single day. It is about showing up for her the way she shows up for him. It is about understanding that she is not just there to love him, she is there to build with him. And if he is too blind to see that, he will lose something that he will never be able to replace. A woman's love is not weak. It is not fragile. It is the kind of love that can hold a man up when he is at his lowest. It is the kind of love that forgives, that believes, that endures. But it is also the kind of love that, once lost, cannot be regained. Because once a woman decides that her love is no longer being valued, she will take it with her. And when she does, a man will feel the loss in ways he never imagined. A man who is wise cherishes the woman who loves him. He does not make her question her worth. He does not make her feel like she is giving more than she is receiving. He makes sure she knows every single day that her love is seen, appreciated, and treasured. Because a woman's love is not something you find every day. It is not something you can replace once it is gone. It is a gift, one that only a fool would take for granted. A woman's presence in a man's life is not just about love, affection, or companionship. It is about the energy she brings, the peace she provides, and the balance she creates. A great woman has the power to change the entire atmosphere around her. She does not just exist in a man's life, she enhances it, nurtures it, and elevates it. But here's the thing. Too many men do not recognize this until it is too late. A woman does not bring chaos, she brings clarity. She does not drain a man's energy, she fuels it. When a man is connected to the right woman, he moves differently. He thinks more clearly, he dreams bigger. He pushes himself further, not because she forces him to, but because she creates an environment where he can grow. Her presence alone is enough to remind him of who he is and what he is capable of. But a woman can only provide this kind of energy in a space where she is respected, valued, and appreciated. She cannot be expected to pour into a man who does not recognize her worth. She cannot be expected to continue nurturing a connection that only drains her in return. She is a source of peace, but she is not a fool. She knows when she is being taken for granted, and when that happens, the peace she once brought turns into silence, and that silence is the loudest warning a man can ever receive. A woman does not want to be in a place where she has to constantly prove her worth. She does not want to be in a relationship where she is begging to be appreciated. She does not want to stay in an environment where her presence is treated as an expectation rather than a blessing. She gives freely, she loves deeply, but she also knows when to walk away. And when she does, everything changes. When a woman leaves, she takes more than just her physical presence. She takes her energy, her kindness, her support, her belief in a man. She takes the warmth that once filled the space between them, and a man who once felt unstoppable with her by his side will suddenly feel the weight of her absence. He will realize, maybe too late, that she was never just a part of his life. She was the foundation that held it all together. A woman's presence is not something to be treated casually. She is not just another person in a man's life. She is the one who brings light into his darkest moments. She is the one who stands beside him when no one else does. She is the one who believes in him when he is ready to give up. She is the one who sees his potential even when he cannot see it himself. That kind of presence is rare. That kind of presence is powerful. And a man who does not recognize it when he has it will spend the rest of his life wishing he had. The most dangerous mistake a man can make is assuming that a woman will always be there no matter how she is treated. He assumes that because she is patient, she will always wait. He assumes that because she loves deeply, she will always forgive. He assumes that because she has stayed through struggles before, she will always stay. But even the most loving woman has a limit. Even the most forgiving heart can grow tired. And when a woman who once gave everything decides to walk away, there is no turning back. A man who understands the power of a woman's presence does not wait until she is gone to appreciate her. He does not assume she will always be there. He does not take her love, her support, or her energy for granted. Instead, he cherishes her, uplifts her, and makes sure she knows every single day that she is valued. Because the truth is, a woman's presence in a man's life is a gift. One that once lost cannot be replaced. A man can search for years, but he will never find another soul quite like the one who truly loved him. He will meet others, but he will never feel the same warmth, the same peace, the same energy. And when he finally realizes what he had, it will be too late. Because a woman who knows her worth will never return to a place where she was unappreciated. So the question is, will you recognize her presence before it's too late, or will you wait until she's gone to understand what you lost? The choice is yours. A woman's influence in a man's life extends far beyond what is seen on the surface. She is not just someone who stands beside him. She is someone who elevates him, challenges him, and pushes him to reach levels he never thought possible. A great woman does not just accept a man for who he is. She sees who he can become and inspires him to rise to that level. She speaks life into his dreams, reminds him of his greatness when he doubts himself, and encourages him when the weight of the world is on his shoulders. But this influence is not about control. A woman does not change a man by demanding that he be different. She does not force him to grow. She does not beg him to evolve. Instead, her presence alone creates an atmosphere of growth. She sets a standard, not just by what she says, but by who she is. She moves with purpose, carries herself with dignity, and refuses to accept anything less than respect, effort, and commitment. And in doing so, she challenges the man in her life to step up, not because she tells him to, but because he does not want to lose a woman of her caliber. A man who understands the power of a woman's influence will embrace it rather than resist it. He will see that her expectations are not demands, they are opportunities for him to become a better version of himself. He will recognize that she is not asking for too much, she is asking for what he is fully capable of giving. And when he rises to meet that challenge, he will not just become a better man for her, he will become a better man for himself. But too often, men take this influence for granted. They mistake her guidance for criticism. They see her expectations as complaints rather than standards. They assume that because she pushes them to grow, it means she is never satisfied. What they fail to realize is that a woman only pushes a man she believes in. She only challenges the man she sees potential in. If she did not care, she would be silent. If she did not see greatness in him, she would not bother encouraging him to do better. The most dangerous moment in a relationship is when a woman stops pushing, stops encouraging, stops believing. That silence does not mean she has accepted things as they are. It means she no longer sees a reason to fight for something that is not growing. And once a woman reaches that point, it is almost impossible to turn back. Because a woman who knows her worth will never beg a man to rise to his potential. She will walk away and find someone who is already there. A man who is wise will cherish the woman who challenges him. He will not take offense when she calls him to a higher standard. He will not reject the growth she inspires. Instead, he will appreciate that he has someone in his life who sees more in him than he sees in himself. He will recognize that a woman's influence is not about changing him. It is about unlocking the greatness that was already inside him. This kind of woman is rare. She is not the kind of woman who settles. She is not the kind of woman who accepts mediocrity. She is the kind of woman who turns a good man into a great one. She is the kind of woman who makes a man want to be better, not out of obligation, but out of inspiration. And a man who does not recognize her value will lose her to someone who does. A woman's influence is not something to resist, it is something to embrace. It is a gift that, when appreciated, can transform a man's life. But that influence only exists where it is valued. A woman will not continue to pour into a man who refuses to grow. She will not keep trying to uplift someone who resists every effort to be better. She will not waste her energy on someone who does not see the power of what she brings. A man must ask himself, is he ready to embrace the influence of a strong woman? Is he willing to rise to the standard she sets, not just for her, but for himself? Or will he let his ego push away the one person who truly sees his greatness? Because if he does not appreciate her influence while she is there, he will one day feel the loss of what she could have helped him become. And by then, it will be too late. A woman's love is not just an emotion. It is an energy, a force that can uplift, transform, and heal. When a woman loves a man deeply, she does not just give him her affection. She gives him her trust, her loyalty, her support, and her belief in his potential. She loves with a kind of depth that can make a man feel like he is capable of anything. But this kind of love is not something that can be taken for granted. It is not something that can be neglected, ignored, or treated as if it will always be there. Because even the most loving woman has limits. Even the strongest heart can grow weary when it is unappreciated. A woman's love is the kind that sees beyond a man's flaws. It is the kind that stays by his side when the world turns against him. It is the kind that reminds him of his worth when he starts to doubt himself. She does not just love the man he is, she loves the man he is becoming. She sees his struggles, his pain, his fears, and she does not turn away. She stands beside him, offering her strength when he has none left. She sacrifices for him, puts his needs before her own, and does everything she can to make sure he succeeds. But the question is, does he see it? Does he understand the depth of what she is giving? Or does he assume that because she is always there, she always will be? The biggest mistake a man can make is assuming that a woman's love is unconditional in the sense that no matter how he treats her, she will stay. Love is not a prison. It is not an obligation. A woman will fight for a man she loves, but she will not destroy herself in the process. She will forgive. She will try to understand. She will be patient. But if she realizes that her love is being taken for granted, if she feels unappreciated, unloved, or unheard, she will leave. And when she does, it will not be with anger or resentment. It will be with the quiet understanding that she gave everything she had, and it was not enough to make him see her worth. A woman's love is powerful, but it is not something that can be demanded. It is not something that can be expected without effort in return. Love requires reciprocity. It requires acknowledgement. A woman does not need constant validation, but she does need to feel valued. She needs to feel that her presence makes a difference, that her efforts are noticed, that the love she gives is not being taken for granted. When a man truly appreciates a woman's love, he does not just assume she knows it, he shows it. He does not just say he loves her, he makes her feel it. He does not wait until she is at her breaking point to start valuing her. He cherishes her every single day. He makes the effort to understand her, to support her, to be there for her the way she is there for him. Because he knows that a woman's love is not something to play with. It is not something to neglect. It is a gift, and once lost, it cannot be replaced. Many men do not realize this until it is too late. They assume that because she stayed through tough times before, she always will. They assume that because she forgave them once, she always will. They assume that because she loves them deeply, she will always wait for them to change. But even the most patient woman has a moment when she decides she deserves better. And when she reaches that point, there is no convincing her to stay. Because when a woman leaves, she does not just walk away physically, she detaches emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. A man who understands the value of a woman's love will never take it for granted. He will not make her feel like an afterthought. He will not assume she will always be there. He will cherish her, honor her, and make sure she knows that her love is seen and appreciated. Because he knows that the love of a good woman is a rare and powerful thing, and a man who does not recognize it when he has it will spend the rest of his life wishing he had. Will you recognize her love while you still have it? Will you appreciate the way she stands by your side, supports you, believes in you? Or will you wait until she is gone to understand what you lost? Because once a woman decides she is done, there is no going back. And a man who loses a woman's love will never truly find another one like it. A woman is not just a companion in a man's life. She is a reflection of how he treats her. She absorbs his energy, his words, his actions, and reflects them back to him. If he nurtures her with love, she will flourish. If he respects her, she will radiate that respect back into the world. If he cherishes her, she will create a space of peace, warmth, and loyalty that no one else can replace. But if he neglects her, if he takes her for granted, if he wounds her with his words or actions, she will reflect that pain back, either through her silence, her distance, or eventually her absence. A woman does not ask for much. She does not need grand gestures or expensive gifts. What she needs is effort. She needs consistency. She needs to feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. She needs to know that she is valued, that her presence in a man's life is not just convenient, but deeply appreciated. A woman gives from her heart, but she does not give blindly. She watches, she observes, she sees whether her love is being met with gratitude or entitlement. She notices whether her kindness is being appreciated or taken advantage of. Many men fail to realize that a woman who loves deeply is not weak. She is strong. It takes strength to give your heart to someone. It takes strength to stand by someone through their struggles, to support them even when they are at their lowest, to forgive mistakes and choose love over and over again. But that strength should never be mistaken for endless tolerance. A woman may love unconditionally, but she will not stay where she is not valued. She will not keep pouring into a man who does not pour back into her. She will not keep fighting for a relationship that is only surviving because of her effort alone. A woman who is cherished glows differently. You can see it in her eyes, in her smile, in the way she moves through life. She is at peace because she knows she is loved, respected, and appreciated. She is not carrying unnecessary emotional burdens. She is not second-guessing her worth. She is not questioning whether she is enough. When a man treats a woman with care, when he reassures her through his actions that she is important to him, she becomes his greatest asset. She will support him in ways no one else can. She will uplift him, believe in him, and push him to become the best version of himself. But when a woman is neglected, when she feels unheard, unappreciated, or unseen, she starts to change. She may not say anything at first. She may keep trying, hoping that things will improve, believing in the potential of the relationship. But over time, the silence grows. Her laughter fades. Her enthusiasm for the relationship diminishes. She starts to pull away, not out of anger, but out of disappointment. She no longer argues because she no longer sees the point. She no longer asks for effort because she has accepted that she will not get it. And when she reaches that point, she has already begun to detach. A man who is wise will recognize this shift before it is too late. He will not wait until she is emotionally distant to start showing appreciation. He will not wait until she is exhausted from trying to suddenly put in effort. He will not wait until she is walking away to tell her that she means everything to him. He will show her every single day that she matters. He will remind her through his words, his actions, his consistency, that she is cherished, not just when he is afraid of losing her, but when she is still there, loving him, supporting him, standing by his side. The way a man treats a woman is a reflection of his character. If he treats her with love, respect, and kindness, he will receive the same in return. If he treats her with neglect, dishonesty, or carelessness, he will eventually lose her, not because she stopped loving him, but because she started loving herself more. A woman will only give so many chances before she realizes that her love deserves to be met with the same energy she gives. To cherish a woman is not about grand gestures. It is about the little things. It is about how you speak to her, how you listen when she talks, how you support her dreams as she supports yours. It is about making her feel like she is a priority, not an option. It is about understanding that she is not just in your life to serve you, but to grow with you, to build with you, to create something meaningful together. A woman's love is a gift. It is a rare, powerful force that can transform a man's life, but it is not guaranteed. It is not something that can be demanded or expected without effort. If you have a woman who stands by your side, who believes in you, who gives you her heart, do not wait until she is gone to appreciate her. Because once she leaves, once she decides she is done, there is no turning back. And a man who loses a woman who truly loved him will spend a lifetime realizing that nothing else will ever compare. So I ask you, do you cherish the women in your life? Do you uplift them, protect them, and make them feel valued? Or are you waiting until it's too late? A woman is not just a gift, she is a test of your character. How you treat her defines the kind of man you are. So step up, be better, love her, protect her, honor her, because a woman's heart is the most precious thing a man will ever hold. And once it's gone forever.